I've been saying for a while, Lewis, that the Donald Trump campaign, the Republican Party at large, have become indistinguishable from parody and satire. And I'm going to show you exactly how right now. Let me start by refreshing your memory about one of the most boneheaded, ignorant political interview answers of the last several decades. This is 2008's vice presidential nominee Sarah Palin, asked about foreign policy and Russia. You will remember, you can see Russia from Alaska. Take a listen.
What insight into Russian actions, particularly in the last couple of weeks, does the proximity of the state give you?
They're our next door neighbors, and you can actually see Russia from land here in Alaska.
Right. This was a total joke. It was a goof. It was satirized time and time and time again by Sarah Palin impersonators in the U.S., publications all over the world. Total joke. Palin's a joke. The other day at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, President Obama spoke, and he made a joke about Trump. This is the one time of the year where the president is doing full-on satire, almost roasting people. And here's how he satirized Donald Trump's foreign policy experience.
The Republican establishment is incredulous that he's their most likely nominee. Incredulous, shocking. They say Donald lacks the foreign policy experience to be president. But in fairness, he has spent years meeting with leaders from around the world. Miss Sweden, Miss Argentina, Miss Azerbaijan.
Now, here is where the satire becomes indistinguishable from reality. I've been telling you for months, we now cannot distinguish between satire and reality. Donald Trump cited doing the Miss Universe pageant in Russia as foreign policy knowledge of Vladimir Putin's country. This is from an interview over the weekend with Fox News' Brett Baier. Take a look at this. This is real. We can't distinguish it from the satire I just played.
About Russia, you were asked yesterday if you've ever spoken to Vladimir Putin, and you said, I don't want to say.
Yeah, I have no comment on that. No comment. I was in Russia.
One of the things people like about you is to answer any question.
Because if let's assume I did, perhaps it was personal. You know, I don't want to hurt his confidence. But I know Russia well. I had a major event in Russia 2 or 3 years ago, Miss Universe contest, which was a big, incredible event, an incredible success.
Okay, so we can say you talked to him.
No, I got to meet a lot of people. And you know what? They want to be friendly with the United States. Wouldn't it be nice if we actually got along with somebody?
Sure, but why do you think Russia is doing these
because they really
US
dislike
Navy ships?
Obama.
I'm increasingly convinced, Lewis, my view on the creation of the universe is different now. I actually believe we may be living in a simulation after seeing this.
It's bad, but I don't know what to say, really. I mean, I'm pretty sure even Trump voters know that his foreign policy experience is zero, and that his knowledge of foreign affairs is probably not as good as Hillary Clinton's. But
I think that's
it doesn't
the problem.
matter for them. That's not what's important.
I'm glad you brought that up. The shocking thing about Trump supporters isn't that they are saying they're going to vote against their own best interests, right? By and large, the Tea Party has been voting against their own best interests for years. That's not a confusing thing. It's not confusing that poor people think that some rich guy is going to pull them up or bring back jobs that no longer exist or ban Muslims, stuff he'll never be able to do. People vote against their own best interests all the time. The disturbing thing is what Lewis is saying, which is that many Trump supporters know the guy has no foreign policy experience, knowledge, or capacity whatsoever. And it's a point of pride. They are being energized, Lewis, by supporting Trump in spite of the fact that he's clueless. That's what's really scary.
Well, to some extent, of course, I can sympathize with the party outsider thing. I mean, that's why. I mean, not that Bernie is really an outsider,
right?
But his ideas sound like that of an outsider, and so I know that's why Trump is so appealing to many people.
But people are confusing being an outsider with just being in favor of someone who doesn't know stuff, right? There's a difference. There are many outsiders who know things, and Trump is not one of those guys. Anti-intellectualism on the American right is being conflated and confused with supporting someone who's against the establishment, and that's really the sad thing.
There is plenty of anti-intellectualism happening on that side. What can you do? As I've said before, a Donald Trump presidency would just be a fascinating experiment.
Send me your thoughts on this. I'm on Twitter at Pakman. Lewis is also on Twitter at Lewis Motamedi. We'll take a break. I've talked about how people of all ages, but particularly millennials, are owning cars less and participating more in the sharing economy. And one of the more popular options is Zipcar, which gets you a car when you want it, when you need it. They offer all sorts of cars, SUVs, hybrids, whatever you need. It includes insurance and it includes gas. You just pay for the time that you actually use the car. And you can reserve the car online from your smartphone over the phone. Then you unlock it with your Zip card. Each car share member reduces their personal CO2 emissions by between 1,100 and 1,600 pounds per year. For our audience, Zipcar is offering $25 of free driving credit if you sign up at joinzipcar.com/David. Support our show, reduce your carbon emissions and your spending on cars. Sign up at joinzipcar.com/David.